Hi everybody, it's Christina Robles and this is Mind, Body, and Soul Food. This is video number 4. Today is the Friday before Thanksgiving, which makes it November 20th. I had gastric sleeve surgery with Dr. Ramos Kelly in Tijuana, Mexico on March 6, 2015, which makes this week 37, I believe. My starting weight was 222 pounds. My surgery weight was 208 pounds. And my current weight today was 142 pounds, which means I'm up 2 pounds from the last video that I did because I weighed in at 140 pounds, I believe. But I've been back and forth between 145 and 140. If you remember from my last video that I did, I recently started a 6-week CrossFit training challenge, and I just finished week 2. There are a couple of things I'm going to hit on this video. I'm going to talk about just updating you on my process right now during week 37, and then I wanted to talk to you guys about eating habits, both not pre-op, but like right after your surgery, like week 1, versus where I'm at almost 9 months later. So anyways, back to the CrossFit. I just finished week 2. And I have not seen a weight loss. I have actually seen a weight gain of 2 pounds. And as you and I have talked about it before, I hate the scale. Scale hates me. It doesn't tell the whole story. You guys obviously know that. I have seen some major differences in my body in the last 2 weeks, and the scale hasn't budged. Well, it has. It's gone up, but not down. A couple of things that I've noticed in my body. Today, while I was doing my workout, we have to do these supersets of crazy things, like for instance, we did up downs, plank up downs, which is where you start your plank like this and then you're up down, up down, up down, up down. We did jumping squats, and I'll just kind of demonstrate to you what a jumping squat is. A jumping squat is where you go into a squat and then you jump and back into your squat, back into your squat. So that's a jumping squat. Oh gosh, see, it's already doing it. But one of the NSVs that I had today was that my workout clothes are too big for me. They're a size medium, and they're way too big to me. So for me, every time I was doing the up-down squats, my pants were literally falling down. Not just my pants, but my underwear. And it's a good thing that it's a whole group of women, because I totally was giving them a show. Like, my stomach was hanging out, I was jumping, it was all ugly. It was sexy ugly. It was sexy because I could do it, and that makes it sexy. But ugly because it was ugly. My belly was hanging out. So that was an NSV that, you know, I need new clothes. That's always cool. Another thing is, my face. Like, I don't know that I'm ever going to get to 130. I don't know that I want to get to 130. Well, technically speaking, I was told I should get to 120. At 140, I already look like this. Like, my face is super thin. I don't know that I'm ever going to want to see what 120 pounds looks like. I mean, I'd have to lose 20 more pounds than what I've already lost, and I'm digging where I'm at, so I don't know that I want to get there. But another thing is, I'm starting to get some definition in my arms. Oh gosh, this lighting is really bad. Like, I don't know that you're going to be able to see the muscle definition that I'm seeing. Like, you can't really see it. I have lots of hanging skin that's right here on the triceps. That's just there. Like, see if I move my arms. Oh, bat wings, I've got them. But I am busting my butt in the gym. Oh, you can't see this one or that one. Anyways, I really do have muscle definition. See? I get the right lighting. Anyways, it's there. I'm getting muscles. I know you can't see it, but I can see it, and that's all that matters. So pants are fitting awesome, loving it, in a size small. Gym clothes are fitting, well, not fitting. Gym clothes are too big, and they were a medium, so I'm going down to a small. Muscle definition, face, I'm loving what's going on with my face. Like, you're going to be like, oh, look at me, I'm beautiful. No, it's nothing like that, but seriously, I don't sometimes even recognize who I am, and I don't want to get any thinner in my face. I could stand to lose that and this, but I have noticed that my stomach is a lot flatter than it has been in the past. I mean, see, I still have all this skin. Like, you can move the skin around, but it is a lot flatter than it has been in the past. So, loving where I'm at in my journey. But now let's talk about starting that journey, since I didn't get to do videos before when I started my journey. I know For me personally, one of the things that I was really apprehensive about when making this decision to have the surgery was that social settings, I guess, when food and social settings, because number one, I'm the oldest sibling, and everybody always comes to my house, especially for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, legit, I cook everything, and everybody comes here. Or going out and hanging out with friends, we'd go out to eat, have drinks, and I was really afraid of what that was going to look like post-op. And to be honest with you, the first couple of months, I just wasn't mentally prepared to be able to go out and eat. I remember breaking down at restaurants because there was nothing on the menu that I could eat that was sleep friendly when I finally was able to have solids. And then I remember the waiter brought my food last, and I was so upset, one, because it took me 20 to 30 minutes just to eat like a sausage link, or I could only eat like a half an egg, and everybody was already done with their food, and my food came out, and I remember just bawling at the table like, oh my god, everybody's gonna have to wait for me, and then I tried to eat it, and I had foamies, and my stomach hurt, and I used to have to lift up my boobs because it felt like it was stuck. Yeah, it's emotional. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The first 3 months are super emotional. Number one, you're retraining yourself on what you can eat. The things that you liked before your operation, your sleep might not like. It might reject it completely. Like, I was a huge steak and potatoes kind of girl. Every Sunday was steak and potatoes. It was Walking Dead, grilled steaks, baked potatoes every Sunday. My family just planned on it. But now, post-op, even here I am 9 months later, or 8.5, 9 months later, I can eat steak, but I don't enjoy steak. It's kind of hard on my sleeve, and I just would rather have chicken any day over steak. So your tastes change. I used to hate cottage cheese. I hated it. Like, I would throw up at the smell of cottage cheese, and now I'm like, give me some cottage cheese. So your taste buds change. The things that you want to put in your body are completely different. Like, I have no desire to have fast food in the least bit. Like, the smell of McDonald's freaks me out because it's just, I had a French fry the other day, and it was like, let this film of grease in my mouth. And so I have no desire to eat that way at all. So that'll change. The social setting thing definitely changed at the beginning, like I mentioned, but now I can go out with friends and I'll order a kid's meal, or I'll share a plate with somebody else, and I kind of just eat the smaller amount of food. I'm still able to have that social setting. I just make smarter choices about it. I, at this point, can pretty much eat anything. And I know that before I had the surgery, I didn't think that was going to be the case. Like, I thought forever I was going to have to give up bread, forever I was going to have to give up sugar and dairy, and that's just not the case. You definitely do have to do that the first few months. Your stomach is healing. You don't want to introduce things into your stomach that shouldn't be there, that's going to cause problems. So I know for me, salads was not one of them. I couldn't do salads until September, which made me about 6 months post-op. But at this point, dude, I eat a salad like every day for lunch. I switch up the kinds of salads that I have, but they give me no problems, and they're satisfying and healthy. Well, they can be healthy, and then they can be really bad depending on what you put on them. But for me, I enjoy salads. Let's see. I know foamies. Foamies is a real thing, guys. It was for me. I know some of you don't get it, and you're super lucky. But enjoy your foamies. Seriously, because while you're having foamies and bad stinky breath, that means your body's in ketosis, and you're going to be losing the most amount of weight. So they're just trade-offs that you have to kind of go through to get the kind of results that you want. So funk breath, like seriously, you will have nasty breath. I brush my teeth like 6-7 times a day. I was constantly carrying around Scope or mints, and all sugar-free mints, of course, because I had some foul breath. Let's see, foamies. Every time I ate, I had to have napkins with me because it didn't matter what I ate. I don't know if it was that I was eating too fast, that I wasn't chewing my food enough, the kind of foods that I had, but for the first 3 months or so, every single time I ate, I'd like these foamies, this is the only way I can describe it. It's like a big loogie that would come out, and I'd have to spill my napkins, so I just kept napkins everywhere. Spit, and I was good. The first week after my surgery, I would eat. It would even just be, clearly I was on a liquid diet, but I would have my broth or my popsicle or my Jello or whatever it was that I was eating that week. And I remember, like, it just literally hurting. Like, it would hurt. And I would think, because there was like 3 or 4 spoonfuls, and I'm like, oh, it hurts, I can't breathe. And I lifted up my boobs because it felt like it was stuck, and I'm like, okay, I just gotta slow down and take some more in. And no, that's not what I needed to do. I just didn't know that because I was uneducated, I guess, on the subject, even though I'd read every form there ever was, every piece of literature I could get my hands on. But I didn't know that that was my new sleeve telling me that I was full. I had to learn that that's what that feeling was, because I would put one more bite in, and it wouldn't just hurt, but I would be throwing up. So I'd be running to the bathroom, and I'm like, bleh, bleh, everything would come out. And it took me probably 3 or 4 times of throwing up to figure out that I was full. That yes, even though I'd only had 3 or 4 bites, that's all that I needed. That's all that my sleeve would allow me to do at that moment. And so that's a piece of advice that I'd give you guys. If you, the moment that you feel uncomfortable, you feel bloated, you feel anything, that's your sleeve telling you to stop. You've had enough. And I know that it's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that you've only had 3 spoonfuls or 4 spoonfuls and you still have this plate full of food. Walk away from it. Leave it where it's at. Move on, because that, you're not supposed to have it. And I do know that for me, it was really difficult because, well, in my household, I have 3 children. I have 2 boys and 1 girl, myself and my husband, and then my nephew lives here and my mother-in-law. So there's 7 of us that eat at a table. And so I'm used to grazing and eating and then sitting down and then eating with everybody and talking. And what was really hard for me is that I'd have to sit at this table with my broth, basically, and everybody else is sitting around me with food that I'm looking at, just wanting, thinking that I wanting it, not knowing that in reality I didn't really want it. It was just head hunger. But they would be eating and I'd be with my soup. And I remember just crying and being depressed. Like, depression was real for me. Like, I had a hard time. Like, I'm out of that now, and I look back and I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a drop in the bucket. Like, 3 months in the span of my life is nothing at all. But I honestly remember feeling really bad, and everything about it was emotional for me. Like, the things that I couldn't eat, I was mourning. It was like mourning a death. It was like mourning my relationship with food, really is what it was, because my relationship with food is completely different now. Like, I look at the things that I put in my body, and I look at it like, how is this going to benefit me? Is this good for me? Is this a source of energy? Is this a source of nutrients? Or is this something that I don't need? And if it's something I don't need, I know that it's going to make me feel bad. I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to feel guilty that I ate it. And then 2, physically, I'm just not going to feel good. Like, I'm going to be lethargic. I'm going to either be really hyper and then crash, or I'm just going to crash altogether. And so I literally could look at a plate of like a donut and then like a piece of chicken. And even though I eat chicken every single day, I could honestly say, ugh, I don't want that donut, and I absolutely want this piece of chicken. And you'll get to that point too. You'll get to a point where food isn't your enemy, it's just a source of energy. You'll get to a point where you can eat the breads, you can eat the rice, you can eat those things, but you won't be able to eat them in large quantities like you were able to before. Like, even though I'm almost 9 months out, I legitimately could probably only eat like maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of rice. And I choose not to do that. Maybe 1 tablespoon of rice. Like, seriously, about that much rice. Well, I don't know how this is going to work. Like that much. There we go. That much rice. The rest is really just protein. So I really just want to kind of just let you guys know, yeah, it's emotionally difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. You've got to retrain your whole thought process, your whole relationship with food. It's not an easy task for people, and I get this all the time. Why'd you cheat? Like, how you took the easy way out. There's nothing easy about what you're about to do. It's not, but it's also not the most difficult thing that you've ever done in your life. There are other things that I've been through in my life that were much more difficult, but it is absolutely one of the most rewarding things that you will do. Your hard work 1000% will pay off. You will feel better, you'll look better. You'll not only feel better like physically, like you can run up the stairs and your knees won't hurt. I had plantar fasciitis on my feet, and I could walk miles and miles and miles and my feet will never hurt. but you will feel so good about yourself. Your self-esteem will be through the roof. You will take selfies. You will want to look at yourself in the mirror. You'll want to go shopping. Like, these are all experiences that you probably hate right now. You hate shopping. You hate looking at yourself in the mirror. You're loathing yourself, and you might not even know it. You might be like I was, and even though I was a big girl, it's like, yeah, I'm a big girl, and what? Big girls need loving too. So I thought I had really high self-esteem, but it wasn't until I started feeling like losing the weight and really truly having high self-esteem and feeling good about myself that I realized that I really wasn't happy, and I was just trying to overcompensate for the lifestyle that I was living by trying to make myself feel good about myself. And the reality is I didn't, and now I do, and you can too. So I'm going to leave you guys with that because we're already almost at 16 minutes, and I can't ever believe that I get to do these videos that long, but that's kind of where they're at. Please leave a comment and let me know of some of the subjects that you guys want to touch bases on. I am going to hit up exercise next time. So, well, next time coming up, it'll be exercise, hair loss, relationships. These are all things that I really want to touch bases on. But if there's something specific that you guys want to know, please leave it in the comments, and I will be sure to make a video on that. So I will see you next week, but it's been great talking to you. See you later.